Hi, I'm Alois from Ping Skills. Today we're going to break down the push into its finest detail. The push is often used on the return of serve and in the rally as a defensive stroke to keep your opponent away from the attack. So let's look at the technique for playing a push. So here, Jeff is playing the backhand push. You can see that it's a very small stroke. Jeff's bat is facing upwards so that he can slide underneath the ball and get some backspin on his push. The push is quite a defensive stroke, so you're not really trying to hit a winner with the push. It's putting the ball on the table nice and low and to a good position. As the push gets shorter, the stroke becomes smaller until you're almost just using your fingers and your wrist to push the ball over the net. To generate more spin, you can start to open up the bat so that you're really coming underneath the bottom of the ball there. You can also start to use more wrist to get more spin on the ball. This takes a lot of practice and very good touch. So you want to keep the ball low because it's going to make it harder for them to attack. You want to start to put more spin on the ball, again, because it's going to make it harder for them to make the attacking stroke. So if you can start to generate a little bit more spin, that makes a harder ball for your opponent. When you're trying to push the ball short, don't be afraid to try and get the ball to touch the net and go over. That is the ideal short push. So don't aim to get the ball here, aim to get the ball here. So even get the bottom half of the ball to touch the net on the way over, and that is a perfect short push. Another thing to be aware of when you're trying to make the short push is to keep your hand and fingers really soft and relaxed. So I'm almost not holding the bat. The bat is very loosely in my hand there. So that way, that cushions some of the speed and enables you to keep that ball nice and short and low and close to the net. So let's think about nice and soft with your hands and your fingers. When you're short pushing, still don't forget about placement. Everyone will have a preferred side that they like to short push from. So if your opponent likes to short push on the forehand, keep the ball onto their backhand side and vice versa. When short pushing, you also need to try and get the ball as early as you can. From here, it's easier to get the ball close to the net because it's a shorter distance. From back here, it's very difficult to get the ball close to the net on the other person's side. So our in and out movement is important. Why do we move out again? To be ready in case the other person puts the ball long. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for that ball to come long that we can attack. So as soon as you push the ball short, get back and ready. If the ball isn't long, then you're back in again to make a push. Back and ready for the attack. The ball comes short, back in. Back and ready, here it comes, now I can attack the ball. So short pushing is one of those strokes that is often neglected, but it is a stroke that separates the mediocre player from the best players in the world. So don't forget to put short pushing in as part of your training routine. It's often forgotten, but I tell you, it is really vital to lifting your level as a table tennis player. Once you've developed your push, your match strategy is to keep your push as low and as short as you can to keep your opponent away from the attack. The other strategy that you can use is, as a surprise, you can push the ball long and fast with a lot of backspin, which will catch your opponent by surprise and make it difficult for them to make a strong attack. So then you can get in and make a strong counter attack at them.
So most of the time you want to keep the ball short, but if you are going to make that surprise push heavy and deep to the corners, then you want to use a bit more wrist to get a bit more backspin, and make sure you position it wide and deep with a lot of spin to make it hard for your opponent as a surprise tactic. So instead of just pushing the ball short all the time, occasionally you can dig it heavy and make a good attack. So as a surprise tactic, instead of just pushing short all the time, you can dig the ball deep. And really surprise them. See how effective that is? That's fantastic.